Hey y'all, hey!
Hi.
Welcome to Who Got Time? Brr, brr, brr. We're back for yet another episode. It's Sumara and the kid.
I can't tuck my hair behind my ear because I have headphones on.
Girl, your hair is almost always in a bun anyway.
Excuse me. No one asked you to expose me on the podcast.
Because now they can see us. So now the truth is out
I got hair, y'all. It's right there.
for all to see.
I'm not bald, I swear. It's right there.
You know, the people who have-y don't pay attention, and the people who want-y always pay attention. I've heard Jamaicans say that. Anywho, hey y'all, hey! Thank you so much for joining us on this sort of sunny afternoon. It's about to be 80 out here in the Northeast. We don't know what to do with ourselves.
I don't like that kind of hot though, you know. I like springtime hot.
You bugging. This is spring, and this is springtime hot. Because tomorrow it'll hit 60 before you know it.
Exactly. That's the kind of weather I like.
No, ma'am.
Between 60 and 70.
No, ma'am.
80s, 90s for what?
Trash weather. 80s for the rest of the summer. Like from now until October. I'll take it.
Ma'am, we live in the Northeast, not California. Please.
That's what I want. It never rains in Southern California. Quick, name the artist. Tony. Do I teach you nothing?
You don't even have that song on a playlist of yours. So
It doesn't matter. You should know. I don't know. Just know these things.
How do you know what you don't know if you don't know it?
You don't know what you don't know when you don't know it. This week, we are joining you not with somber news, not with politics, because
I mean, it's important, but it's exhausting.
Politics. This week, we're hitting you with the media mashup because there's always some foolishness going on in pop culture, and I'm here for it. It makes me giggle or raise my eyebrows, like, what the is this for real? Like, seriously? And then I holler to the kid, like, yo, explain, because this is your generation, and I don't understand. For example, do you know who this Jake Paul person is?
Don't get me started.
Okay.
He is a YouTuber. Well, him and his brother. His brother's name is Logan Paul. And they're YouTubers, and they started in that era where YouTubers started making, people first started making like mad bank off of YouTube and sponsorships and advertisements, so on and so forth. Before this whole influencing thing became huge, they were like one of the few people in that core group of folk who had just started on YouTube. They're the originals, right?
Originals influencing, making bank off of what?
So what
were they doing?
They were doing like prank videos. Do you know who David Dobrik is?
No.
Okay, so they're essentially like they came before David Dobrik. They started. I want to say they started on Vine, and obviously
they did start on Vine.
Yeah, I didn't follow his career because I never thought he was funny, but I want to say they started on Vine, and then when Vine was, they went to YouTube, and they started posting videos.
Why did Vine get deaded?
Because it just wasn't gaining as much traction. Twitter had started up, Instagram started to blow up more, so people didn't care about 6-second videos anymore.
Okay.
When you could have Instagram and watch a 2-minute video or something of that nature.
So we have many platforms of our day.
They moved to YouTube where you could post a 20-minute video of him vlogging with his friends. He had already there were a lot of Viners like King Bach or King Bosch, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Black comedian, Instagram comedian.
King Bosch, I think.
He's not funny to me, but okay. He panders to the white folk, whatever. That's your thing. They made a lot of money off Vine. Jake and Logan, two brothers.
And how exactly do they make this money?
Advertisements, sponsorships, things of that nature. So they were already 100,000aires, if not millionaires from Vine.
100,000aires. I like it. Mm-hmm.
They moved to YouTube, where obviously it's a much broader platform.
Right.
Logan is the one who got in trouble like 5 years ago, I want to say, for going to the Japanese suicide.
Right.
Garden.
I remember that, but I didn't realize that it was two different people.
Yeah. Okay. He went to the garden and we all know he vlogged a dead body. First of all, I don't even know what would
possess you
to want. The name is
I
a
didn't realize it was two
suicide
different
garden.
people. Okay.
Yes, it's two different people. I don't
Okay.
know, like going to Japan is something that I want to do. Going to a suicide garden is not. And it was
Mhm.
clear that he was doing it for clout. So
Mhm.
he got
The more
quote unquote
outrageous.
canceled for 2 minutes. But
Right.
ironically, he's the much more toned down version of him and his brother.
Right.
Which is why when he did that, we were all kind of like, that's not even you, that's your younger brother. Jake
Dude.
Paul is a clown. He's not funny to me, and all he does is post prank videos that aren't funny, and he vlogs with celebrities and things of that nature. And that's how he's maintained his content this far.
They only came on my radar. Well, not they. I guess the Jake only came on my radar because I think I was watching an episode of TMZ,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about an upcoming fight.
Yes. So
And first of all, what happened to real
pay-per-view,
boxing matches?
right?
Like I used to be here for those.
Yeah.
What happened to those? Because now they're all like these celebrity mashup, joke situations where you absolutely know one person is going to get slaughtered. Why are we even betting on it? Why are we watching this? It's not a real pugilistic bout. What is this I'm looking at? So I saw that he was supposed to be, I believe he's going to be fighting with like Lamar Odom,
I didn't hear about it. I don't follow his fights.
who is, like on his ninth life. Like, sir,
He's a cat.
You need to be walking carefully because you are living your ninth life. This it for you, sir. Be grateful and be careful.
Yeah.
But I get it. You got to make a coin, I guess. So supposedly they're going for this bout, this title match, this non-title match, but the celebrity match.
Mm-hmm.
And that was where his name walked across my brain for 5 seconds. And then I dismissed it like, who the fuck is this skinny little white boy? Okay, whatever. And paid it no mind. Then he pops up in a New York Times article. And I was like, whoa. Is it a slow news day? Why is he in my newspaper? Why am I reading about him? And they were talking about how he has this house where it's not just him living in the home. Like he has this mansion in the Hollywood Hills.
It's called the Team 10 house.
And he has a bunch of other, creators and contributors living with him in this home. And they've got this communal style situation going on. He says, and I quote, he has, because I wrote it down. Let me get it right. He says, I'm interested in keeping these creators living around me and managing them because creating an empire of with dozens of talents under me who take my power and multiply it so I become bigger than myself is the goal.
Does that not sound psychotic to you? Like, so there was a period of time.
I was like, wait, what?
In like 20.
So you're a leech.
Correct. 2017, 2018, where all those original YouTubers, content creators had kind of fallen off for a little bit. And a lot of them were like struggling to make money.
Right.
And he was one of the first people who created this term content house, where a bunch of creators who had some kind of legitimate following would all live under one roof and they would all collab
their ideas
and make content together. So Jake's fans would hang out with Lily Pond's fans and they would mesh together, and then you gain more views because you're getting each other's
getting the biggest slice of his check.
Of course. They have like meetups and like pre-COVID, like fan interactions or whatever, like events. And his like main audience is children between the ages of like
and that
10
was
and
my
15.
next question, which is why I was like, I'm gonna wait to talk to the kid about this, because who's giving him their money? Who's paying to view this? Why are advertisers still giving him money? Because somebody must be. Advertisers are not giving you money if people are not coming to your page.
Correct.
So who's going to your page? Who are because it can't just be little Caucasian kids.
Oh, but it is. It's little Caucasian kids between the ages, suburban white children between the ages of like, money. Correct. They're telling their parents, can I have your Amex?
Can you take me to the
Can I have this
drop me at the mall so I can go see?
Correct. between the ages of like 10 and probably 15, 16 years old. Little
I'm
girls who
stymied
think,
as to why this keeps happening.
pick me little girls who think that he is the hottest man alive.
He's
And then
not.
there's the corny ass people who are my age who think that he's a god.
Mm-mm. No,
Your
ma'am.
parents don't love you, and this is a factor of that.
Yuck,
Now you look up to him.
yuck, and yuck. Like I want to say I heard that one of his homes or his home got raided. They
Got
were
raided
looking
by the
for guns.
FBI,
Yeah, I thought I had heard that, and
and
I
it
was
never
like, wait,
came out
what?
why. They apparently, so there was rumors on Twitter when it happened that he was involved in some kind of child trafficking ring, which when those were rumors, they were alleged. I wouldn't have been surprised if the rumors were true, though. To be very honest with you, there have been people who have come out who used to be in his inner circle who have taken a step away and been like, it's not what it looks like on camera, on these YouTube videos, on these TikToks, on Instagram.
Right.
It's very different, and have
It's
said
not what's
that
up.
he's basically psychotic. And again, I'm not surprised. Anybody who talks that way about themselves, you're clearly narcissistic.
Yo, you said you want to build an empire that allows you to go, your power
Correct.
to go further.
Correct.
That's some insane narcy madness. And you're not keeping it a secret. Like you're not tricking
No.
anyone. Like
But that's
it's
the
clear.
thing. That's why he makes so much money, because he holds these fights. Like he just fought, I want to say 6 months, maybe a year ago, Ryan Garcia, who I'm not
He
well
did.
versed
So it was him who
in.
just had another one of these
Yeah,
celebrity matches.
I'm not well versed in fighting, so I want to say it was like MMA. I could be completely wrong. He's an MMA fighter, I think, but he had a fight with him. That is a professionally trained boxer. This is what he does for a living. And he purposefully baits these fighters like
Yeah.
Floyd
Yeah.
and all these other people. And it's like, I'm going to fight you. And people,
By the way, I just saw the Floyd Mayweather has signed on for one of these fights, and I'm like,
yeah,
why, Floyd? Why?
I think he
You
wants to fight
filthy
like Pacquiao
stinking,
or something like that.
you filthy stinking rich. Why are you coming?
But that's the thing. The celebrities and the fighters want to maintain their, I don't know, like supreme fighting stature. I don't know. I don't care. And the people who are watching think that Jake is an idiot. So, of course, they're going to tune in because they want to see you get beat up, which is so
Right.
problematic in itself, because why are you gaining pleasure off of watching somebody get their ass beat? Anyways.
Well, that's why we watch the fights.
I mean, but I watch fight videos sometimes, so I don't know. Maybe it's me too.
Yeah, that's why we watch the fights. But this is not a real fight. Like this is not a real battle.
Right. Because he talks out the side of his mouth and he's talking a lot of shit on social media, and people are like, no way, Floyd Mayweather's going to beat your ass. You and I know Floyd Mayweather's going to beat his ass.
I mean, and is it just for the coin?
It is for the coin, because people will bet on him. And then sometimes, there was like maybe 2 months ago, a month ago, he won one of his fights. And the man made millions of dollars.
I'm sorry. I'm mad at that. I'm mad at the journalist who wrote the article, because now
That's what I'm saying.
You're validating the nonsense. It was in the New York Times. Why is it in the New York Times?
Journalists' jobs are to report on the things that are trending, or at least in that category. And he was, to an extent, because it is. It's not the journalist's fault. It's the people who are consuming it. It's your fault.
I don't like that you're making sense, okay? Because you're right, and I don't like it. Don't do it again. Moving right along, because now I know, and I don't want to know. Like now I know, and I'm mad. I know.
He's so annoying to me.
Do you remember, on a happier note, on a musical note, because you know how I feel about music?
Don't start singing.
Do you remember? What did I tell you about my singing? It's never gonna stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Bad boy. Speaking of, there's my segue. Do you remember the show Making the Band? You were a little young when it came out. Okay. Puffy, P. Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs.
What do you want his name to be? Fatherly Love?
I don't know.
Brotherly Love? That's what he wanted to be called.
I don't know, because I skipped past that part. He's always going to be Puffy to me. Puffy had this show on VH1 or MTV, one of them, called Making the Band. And it was like one of the early, put a band together, have all these kids come in and...
or American Idol, or like X Factor.
I want to say American Idol was already out. I don't know about X Factor, but American Idol was already out. But this was hip hop though, because he had rappers and R&B singers, and it was really good. It was a good show. It was.
I've heard heard the show reference before. I just never
rough.
watched
Yeah,
it.
it was good and it was rough because he's a taskmaster. And come on, he's a hit maker. Like he wasn't going easy on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He put a group of girls together that could actually fucking sing. The name of the group was Danity Kane.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's Puffy.
Damage. That's them.
Yes. Okay, so you know
Damage.
the songs.
Mm-hmm.
They
They were like one hit wonders, though, weren't they?
they had like maybe two.
Mm-hmm.
They could sing their behinds off. But when you sign with Bad Boy and you are not an established artist, you
Bad
signed
boy.
you signed over well over half of your life away, right?
Mm-hmm.
They signed with him. The contract was, I'm sure, vicious and tight, and the reins were choking them. And I think it was either four or five of them, but they ended up not doing well as a group. And he let them know he was disbanding the group over email, girl. He sent them an email.
But who is he to say he's going to disband the group? Because
He
even if they're
created the group.
right, but
He
even if their
disbanded them.
contract is terminated, can't they go to a different record label?
No.
Oh,
His contracts are ironclad.
so they can't
The
sing under the
group,
name Danity Kane
correct. The
anymore.
group
Oh,
belongs to Bad Boy. It was created for Bad Boy. It's like those damn NDAs. You break it, you getting sued for the rest of your life. You're gonna owe him.
right,
He's really good at what he does, and his attorneys get paid big bucks for a reason.
right.
So they ended up breaking up. One of the group members, Dawn Richards, I remember her. She's tall, slim, African American girl. Her either both or one of her parents were singers. She's from the New Orleans area. She could sing her behind off. She went on to do some independent albums.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that anybody ever really heard them. They didn't make a big splash, but you know how that goes when you don't have a lot of money backing you when you do independent stuff. But she could sing her behind off. She just dropped on the 30th, I want to say, August 30th, her sixth album release. Who knew there were five?
I didn't know any of them were still releasing music. But you know what that's like? That's like the Pussycat Dolls. Some of them went off to have, like, other than Nicole,
Except for Nicole
have,
Scherzinger, sure.
that's not her last name.
Her last name is really difficult to pronounce.
Some of them went on to have other solo careers, but y'all were essentially backup singers, so I didn't understand the purpose of that.
Outside of Nicole Scherzinger, who else can you name?
Exactly.
And who else is still working?
In my head, the Pussycat Dolls were always like, when Selena Gomez first started singing by herself, she was Selena Gomez and The Scene, but The Scene was just her backup, her band, and like backup singers, whatever.
Yeah.
So the Pussycat Dolls always to me were like Nicole Scherzinger and The Scene.
As far as I was concerned, the Pussycat Dolls was Nicole Scherzinger and the Dances.
I don't even remember hearing any of them have like their own chorus.
Me. I didn't know any of them were doing that in the back. I thought they were just burlesque-ish style dancers.
The Pussycat Dolls. Anyways, but yeah,
Danity Kane. Love them.
Yeah. Oh, the Pussycat Dolls were like one of the first girl groups I ever listened to as a child.
Let me loosen up your butt.
Which is a little problematic because that was really my song.
Well, you were listening to my playlists.
So you're problematic is what you're saying. Go ahead, expose yourself. Because between that and Bedrock, I had no business singing Bedrock at 12.
You ain't know. It's okay. It's okay. You were in the back of the car. I didn't know you were absorbing. You were supposed to be listening to your, what do you call it, the little game thing?
You know dang well I was not watching, playing, no Leapfrog. It wasn't happening.
You on your Leapfrog and then the Nintendo thing.
I was on my Leapfrog and my Nintendo, but I was singing it while I was playing Cooking Mama.
Yes, remember Cooking Mama?
I don't know why I was so obsessed with that, and I don't cook now, so clearly the whole thing was purposeless.
It's not because you don't know how. It's because you got them lazy, but we digress.
I don't want to. But
anywho, so yeah, Dawn dropped a new album, and I actually am going to go give it a listen because she can actually sing. She has pipes, but I want to say that I was shocked, and I was like, she deserves a little shout out. I want people to check it out. So, take a look-see and hit the little sample button on iTunes and just see if it's worth it. Because this is your sixth.
iTunes doesn't exist anymore.
What is it?
It's just Apple Music.
Whatever. That shit. A lot of people don't exist anymore, and I'm still listening to them.
What do you mean don't exist? Like they
Like
dead?
Janet King, the group.
Oh,
I'm still gonna be playing that on my old '90s playlist.
but they're not from the 90s. They're from the 2000s.
Are they? Yeah, I
Yes.
guess it was the early 2000s. Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on
yeah.
now.
You're right. You're right. You're right. But they were really cool, and I'm glad. I'm glad to see that some of them didn't give it up.
One of them.
Okay, man.
Because where are the rest?
I
There was like
mean,
5 of
they might be running a karaoke bar somewhere. Who knows? I
Not a
don't know.
karaoke bar. Imagine they're playing their own music
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
and nobody knows the songs.
I don't know. I don't know. And maybe they got 9 kids and shit. Who knows? But they still trying to make that dollar, and their pipes still work. It happens. You know how many artists from the '80s and '90s can still blow, and they're not on tour nowhere, but they're
They're working
on the
as
wall
your
singing.
local USPS, man.
Yes, ma'am. Um, I also read an article this weekend about Simone Biles and her saying and throwing up the deuces to Nike. Did you know about that?
No, I didn't.
Did y'all
But
know
can I
about
just
that?
say, I'm not surprised.
What do you mean you're not surprised?
Nike, so for those who don't
I
know,
was surprised.
I am a sneaker, I'm not going to say connoisseur, but I know a lot about sneakers.
Are
I
you
love
alone in this?
sneakers. Huh?
Are you alone in this household?
Well, no, but I put you on
To
the most
sneakers?
recent, no, to like the most recent sneaker game.
Because I was literally going to take these headphones off and come to where you are in the house.
No,
Because I'll have y'all know we are in the same house, but in different places so we don't get the crazy feedback and beat you.
no. I know you
Look,
were
the
into
camera was just gonna
sneakers.
go upside down. It was gonna be so cool because people were gonna be like,
Okay.
"Yo, did you see that podcast
This
where
is
the
not
moms
Big
just
Brother.
jumped off?"
This
And
is
then
not Big Brother,
it was
please.
gonna be epic, and we would go viral.
I know you were with your 5411s and your Reeboks and your Uptowns, better known as Air Force
You don't
One.
gotta say it with such disdain, okay?
But because you became,
Jordans was for us before they were for you.
did you have a pair?
I couldn't afford a pair. Don't play me.
That's your business. Anyways, anyways,
I'm coming to get you. Wait.
stop. Stop. You became a parental and you put that on the back burner because you were trying to like pay bills or whatever. Except we'd be financially stable. And I started growing my sneaker collection like the last 3-4 years. And I've kept up with Nike collaborations, whether I wanted the sneakers or not. And there have been a lot of artists, creators, sneaker connoisseurs who have said that Nike will lock you in for one sneaker, one shoe. I don't know if you know who Sean Wotherspoon is.
Yes, I do.
He's the one of the owners of Round Two, which is a like curated vintage store on both the East Coast and the West Coast. And he did a sneaker with them, and it was a sick sneaker. It was corduroy. It was gorgeous. It had a whole bunch of hype around it, which obviously, in terms of PR, hypes up Nike in itself. And then he was set to make another sneaker for them, and he walked away from the deal. And that's not the first time that has happened.
Why?
And you know where he went? To Adidas, which
Why he broke up with them?
we never knew. But it's happened over and over again. These artists, people who do this for a living, have said that Nike's really shisty when it comes to
Not the
sneaker deals. They get what they need, and then they don't want to cooperate anymore. They feel like they've sucked you for as much as they can, and then they're done.
That makes me kind of sad because Nike and Simone broke up, and Simone didn't detail why she broke up with them.
And they never do, which is probably because they signed an NDA. No, I think it's an NDA type thing.
Not quite, because Simone didn't express why she broke up with them, but what she signed with Athleta, is the name of that sports line that Gap owns.
Mm-hmm.
And what she said was they are more Athleta aligned with where she wants to be consciously in the world than Nike is. Now, like, you and I both know that she ain't fucking with the Gymnastics Association, the United States Gymnastics Association, and how they allowed that doctor who's now under the jail to rape and molest, for the most part, those young ladies, for Dr. Nasir, for all those years. And she wasn't here for the way that they initially tried to cover it up, and then when it was all exposed, didn't do enough. as every single one of these gymnasts, current and prior, the retired ones, have all said, you didn't do enough, you're not doing enough, we're not okay with the way you've handled this, and kick rocks. But because she's still active and I don't want to say performing, but she's still active and she's going to the Olympics, this current Olympics, and who knows if she's going to make it to 2024. Because Nike sponsors most of those athletes.
Athletes, yeah.
Her breaking up with them right now is a big fuck you to not only Nike, but to the United States Gymnasts Association as a whole.
Right.
And I was like, that's a big middle finger to the people who don't necessarily pay her, because she's bringing them the coins.
And you know that her deal with Athleta isn't necessarily as large as it would have been.
Of course not. They don't got Nike money. But clearly that's not what it's about for her. Because they're not her only sponsor.
Right. When she says that they don't align with where she wants to be in the world, does she mean like ethically, their ethical practices?
She said they don't align with her values.
Drake had a sneaker.
What she said was, Athleta is better aligned with my values.
Drake had a sneaker with Nike. He had, I want to say it was an 11. I don't really care for Drake's sneakers, whatever. But they fell off too. And there was talks about him going to Adidas, which is so funny to me because every single time one of these Nike celebrity deals falls through, they always end up going to like Adidas or Reebok or New Balance or something of that nature. Like Kawhi Leonard, the basketball player, was at Nike for, I don't know how long he was there. I remember one of the sneakers that he produced under them. And then shortly thereafter, he went to, I want to say Reebok. Reebok can't possibly be paying you as much as Nike was going to. So what is going on in these rooms that is making these celebrities say, no, F you. I'm going to go somewhere and get less money, but probably for a longer period of time.
Let me tell you something. I don't know, but Vanessa Bryant, Kobe Bryant's widow, has now let Kobe's contract with them expire as well.
Exactly.
She's not rocking with them no more either.
But you know what's so sad about that?
I mean, it was going to expire. She did not renew.
Yeah.
She's like, nah, we good.
What's sad about that is even though Nike won't be producing any more Kobe basketball sneakers, they're still going to profit off of her not renewing the contract.
Right.
You know that, right?
Old stuff is out there.
All of the previous lines that he had, all of the old sneakers now, I haven't even checked, but have probably gone up to thousands.
Of course.
Thousands of dollars.
They are now vintage and priceless because he's gone.
They're going to profit off of his death, which is unethical.
I don't know what's happening, but there are a lot of folks who have said that Nike punishes their athletes, particularly athletes of Olympic stature, when they get pregnant, like Allison Felix.
I did hear about that briefly.
That was the only person that I've heard thus far who came out of her face in a video and was like, basically, fuck Nike. She went hard. She was like, I got pregnant, I made like choices, I'm growing my family, and Nike penalizes you when you choose to do something different, and you can't just be out here riding for them. And I'm looking left and looking right, like, come again? Then I read this thing. Did I read it? No, it was on the news. This high up Nike VP's son.
Yes, he was selling sneakers.
Takes her credit card. He's so stupid, and purchases hundreds of right out the factory Nikes, which only he would have access to as her kid, and then is flipping them on the open market and making ridiculous money, and gets busted because they track the credit card back to him.
Correct.
So
posted a picture in his garage or like in
the warehouse,
space with the stacks of sneakers. At least 6-7 feet tall stacks of sneakers. A couple of them in a row.
On the news, and I was like, "This what you doing, idiot? This what you fucking doing?" Who doesn't understand that y'all need to stop chatting so goddamn much? You take pictures of your illegal gains and you post it on the internet.
It was so dumb.
That's what we doing. That's what we doing. Ugh. So Nike, I don't understand why you're being so problematic, but it's not a good look for you. You might want to talk to your advisors. Get a new staff.
I just want to be like a fly on the wall when these things go left.
Yeah,
Because what is
this
the
not a good
problem?
look. This not
It's
a good
not
look.
the first time that something like this has happened.
Mm-mm. You got Colin Kaepernick over here, and you gave him nothing but great support. But your everyday athletes, you're screwing them in a very strange way. Why?
But you know what the thing is? It's so clear what their MO is because you signed Colin Kaepernick at a time where his presence and his name in itself is so controversial. And some might say that that is performative activism because you're profiting off of the notoriety around his name.
Because who wasn't going to buy that stuff? We were definitely
Correct.
going to buy that stuff.
His stock, the Nike stock, went up significantly the day that they
Black folks will
announced.
show up.
But you're not supporting
Your everyday athletes.
everyday athletes and
Right.
celebrities and other deals of that nature. And
Because your Olympic athletes are only what? Every 4 years on the set? The other 3 years when they're training, the other 2 years, well, first after the Olympics, they take that down year. And then they're
Right.
training and they're gearing back up. So we're really not thinking about them until the prior year when it's time for them to come back out and announce or start competing again to qualify for the next set of Olympics. So they don't count? You just gonna play them?
yeah,
Okay.
because they know if they did that, they behave the way that they are with their everyday athletes and celebrities. If they did that to Colin Kaepernick, it would be a wrap.
I just can't.
For a lot of people, it would be a wrap.
I can't. I don't understand it. I'm very confused. I can't say that I'm ever going to love Adidas more. I'm not here for Reeboks on that level. I never have been. I do like some Adidas, but
I'm more of a New Balance fan. I've become a New Balance fan in the last like 2 years.
I've always loved New Balance.
More than I have. I'm not going to wear Adidas. There's a couple Yeezys that I like. I'm still on the fence about purchasing them, though.
Yeah, I'll never own a pair of Yeezys ever.
You don't like them, though. You think they're ugly.
Yeah, that's why I'll never own a pair.
Yeah. But the rest of
I think
Adidas,
he's ugly. I think he's an ugly, insane person.
he's mentally ill, and I want him to get help.
You know what? You're correct. I take that back.
Yeah, I'm not gonna call it.
You're right.
It's out of,
and I know this. You're right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's completely out of his control.
Didn't I just tell you to stop being right in 2021?
I think I
just said that.
Because remember, we had this conversation about canceling Kanye, and I kept saying to you, I'm not gonna do that to him.
You're right.
You were like, why not? He said all these things, and I was like, I hear you, and everything he said was out of pocket.
Right. But he is mentally unstable. And he just won't take those goddamn meds.
Correct, which is why I'm not gonna say it's completely out of his control.
Well, somebody need to put it in his fucking smoothie.
Not his smoothie.
But even vitamins in my smoothie.
We were watching Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen and what's her name? Chrissy Teigen was on, and he asked her if, since the divorce between him and Kim had been announced, had she been in contact with Kim and had John been in contact with Kanye? Right. And she said distinctly, "Oh, I've been in contact with Kim and she's doing really well." But she said, kind of like under her breath, she was kind of like, Kanye's never really been somebody you've been able to get into contact with. So he's always, to an extent, been this dude.
I watched a video, an interview with my boyfriend, Jay-Z, and what's the name of the dude with the beard?
That's a funny you mentioned Jay-Z. I literally watched Homecoming last night before I went to bed.
I love that fucking whole situation.
I know who you're talking about.
I forget his name. He's retired.
I was going to say Larry King. That's not his name.
And now he does the whole thing on Netflix. I forget. But anyway, he had the interview with him. It was in his first or second season. Mm-hmm. And he asked him about Kanye, and Jay-Z succinct. He was so succinct in his answer, and it was such a respectful answer, but an answer that most of us can understand when he said, "He's my brother," and that's it.
He's like the problem child of hip hop.
And then he said, "And you know how you love your siblings, and that's it. He's my brother," and I got it instantly. You have family members, you have siblings, you have whoever it is, parents who are fucking problems, but you love them. You love them, and you keep it moving. You can't change them. You can't alter their moves. You just love them. But sometimes you got to keep them over there, but you love them.
Which is what I understand now, because I was watching something and somebody had said They were talking about the Kanyes and somebody else, and they were saying, I've gotten to a point now where I'm separating the person from the music.
Yeah.
So when I'm listening to Kanye's music, I'm not thinking about, there's this man who has said that slavery was a choice.
Oh my God.
I'm thinking about, wow, this is such.
About his wife gonna have an abortion, was gonna have an abortion. Like what? You put all her business on Frozen Street. Oh
On
my
Twitter.
God.
I'm not thinking about any of those things. I'm in a place where this is a song that I think is so beautifully crafted, which I completely understand if you're a lover of those arts, music, and sneakers and fashion and things of that
Yeah,
nature.
you're able
That's
to
what you're solely focused
compartmentalize.
on.
Yeah.
Correct. So I'm not going to cancel Kanye. I will wear a Yeezy. I
No,
don't like Adidas.
I always thought they were ugly.
I like some of them. I don't like all of them.
I love Adidas. I have a pair of shell top Adidas, as you know.
It's
I only have
tired.
2 pairs. My shell tops are not tired because they are hand painted in the back with my lovely blue stenciled lilacs and stuff, and they're gorgeous.
Adidas
And I have
is
gotten
boring.
many a compliment on them, and they're not boring. Because if you tell me that my Adidas are boring, those Kanye nude nothing sock sneakers, girl, let me get you
We're
some
not wearing those
pantyhose.
anymore.
Let me get you some pantyhose and sew them to the sole of something. Because them sneakers is so
Pantyhose.
ugly.
We're not. Well, I'm not.
Let me get you some compression pantyhose because they look like
Not
old
compression
people compression pantyhose, and they tight, and then sew them to the sole or something and sell them to you. Okay, all right, the end. Stop it. Anywho, and Rihanna had a really cute Adidas line where her little Adidas situation.
Was that Adidas?
Wasn't it Adidas?
That was Puma. Boom. Got you wrong still.
Oh, Rihanna.
That was Puma.
I like her.
She gave Puma a name for 2 seconds.
Yeah, she
all the
did.
way at the bottom.
It was really cute.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am. That was
you're right.
Puma, not
You're right.
not
Speaking of
Adidas.
Rihanna, she's over there taking care of all her own business and not caring
Period.
about what any of us say.
I just don't understand why she's with ASAP Rocky though. I'm not understanding.
Yeah, I don't get it, but it ain't none of my business because he's
isn't.
doing something that we don't know nothing about, and she like it.
But I wonder if they have had like a conversation. See what I mean? This is what I'm saying when I say I want to be a fly on the wall
All the
and start
time.
celebrity
All the time.
conversations.
All the
Because
time.
have you discussed how man said that Black Lives Matter wasn't about him because he was a rich nigga and he doesn't care?
Wait, did he say that?
He did say that when he got stuck in Sweden and everybody was trying to get him out of Sweden when that thing happened. Do you remember that?
Yes, of course I do.
He was locked up in a foreign country.
Girl, on a cell with cement beds.
I want to say it was Sweden. Maybe it was Poland. I don't know.
No, it was Sweden.
Okay, he was in Sweden, and
even Al Sharpton got involved.
Correct, because we were trying to get him back to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, whatever. Because a lot of people in those European countries are notoriously
racist.
Got the Negro
Action Network involved. Mm-hmm.
Correct, I do. Yes, Al Sharpton didn't get involved. I do remember that. He had a bunch of because his family is from Harlem, so he had a bunch of New York attorneys, DAs, whatever.
I know, I remember.
While he was locked up.
That was when you made fun of me because I didn't know that ASAP was not.
You didn't know what the ASAP mob was.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was like, why they all got the same name? Does he know that other people are stealing his name? Because I had no idea.
Said on the news, Cheyenne, does ASAP Rocky get offended by all these other people copying his name? Just ASAP Rocky and ASAP Nast and ASAP Cocky. Who are these people? And isn't he mad that they're saying his name?
1, 2, 3, and 4. Does he know? Is he gonna do that? What's happening?
They grew up together, and they're called the ASAP mob. They all do different things. So one of them directs, one of them does fashion. He sings,
I have no idea.
Raps.
I'm minding my business, but only on certain days. And
anyway,
that was one of the days.
When he was locked up, somebody pulled up an interview he had done. And it was like an open forum interview. So there was a whole audience and everything.
Right.
And somebody had asked him, the interviewer had asked him, how do you feel? I want to say it was right after everything that was going down with, I can't remember his name, Michael, who had just got shot in the street. We were on the cruise.
The young man.
Michael Brown?
Brown, but I don't remember if his first name is Michael, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
That situation in 2016.
Uh-huh.
It had just passed, and the Black Lives Matter movement had sort of started to take off. And they asked him how he felt about it, and he said, I'm summarizing, well, that doesn't really apply to me because I'm wealthy. So what the fuck do I care about Black Lives Matter?
So he's down with, what's his name? Tunchi.
Correct.
Who said on and to an African-American female journalist, I'm not concerned with Black Lives Matter because I'm Black and I'm rich.
But please note that first you said you're Black. They don't ask questions about how much is in your bank account. Anyways, that's another artist. I'm compartmentalizing. This music, not the person.
Nah, son.
The
Because he's
music.
not mentally ill. Nah.
But the amount of lean that he's consumed in his life has riddled his brain.
You're
Clearly.
not mentally ill. That's scissor. That's
Because
scissor.
why would you say that? Anyways, he said that. A$AP Rocky said that. So have you had a conversation with him, Rihanna, about this?
While you out here marching? Because she was out here marching just
Exactly.
the other
And
day.
she was trying to be what is it called? Not camouflaged, but she wasn't trying to put on, yeah, I'm Rihanna and I'm at this.
No.
What's it called? She was just a person marching
Yeah.
for Asian rights, as she should. But he wasn't with you.
I can't.
So did you talk about it?
I can't. I gotta leave those people right there. Cause yeah, I'm gonna leave those people right there. Cause we know some of those people and okay. Anyway, we gonna move.
Like, does Kylie talk to Chloe and tell her she's a dummy because she's in a relationship with somebody else who's in a relationship? Because
No,
Tristan is single.
We are not talking about Khloe Kardashian and her mans who got girlfriends. Okay?
He's single.
Because he's single to mingle and he mingles all day. Okay? Okay. All right. He don't care what
Who broke that story, by the way? Was it TMZ?
We don't care. I don't know. I saw 2 or 3 places and I was like, who's surprised? Why are you insisting on being with someone who is not interested in being with you?
She is too wealthy. And to be honest,
it's not about wealth. He's wealthy as well.
From the get-go, I always thought that she was the most interesting Kardashian.
I can't raise my shoulders high enough.
Of the 3. And this is what you're doing? It's just,
Girl,
I'm disappointed.
Where is your self-worth?
Disappointed.
Why you don't care about yourself enough?
Disappointed.
No. All the memes and quotes and things you want to throw up talking about take care of yourself. Girl, you don't love yourself enough to recognize he not it. Be better and kinder to yourself and show your daughter what it looks like to co-parent in a healthy way. You don't have to be with the father of your child.
I'd rather be alone than continuously get played like this. Like, this just isn't it.
It is beyond embarrassing.
Not embarrassing.
Beyond. Speaking of self-care, that's a great segue into our main topic today, which is taking care of oneself. Because that was really my focus this week, taking care of me.
Like face masks?
No.
Oh.
See, that's the problem. Why is it that automatically when we say self-care, I think most, and particularly I'm focused in on the women, the females, why are we always thinking about face masks and sitting in the corner reading a book quietly with some music in the background?
Because that's what mainstream self-care
and our nails
has been labeled.
Hair day, getting a pedicure.
Hair day.
Like spa shit.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not what I'm talking about. This self-care situation has now become so cliched to me that when I hear it, I automatically think everybody thinking about, oh, you need a spa day? Oh, all right, girl. That's not necessarily all that self-care should be about.
Right.
Right? When did it just become the surface? Self-care, care of self involves something deeper. Why are we not focused and involved in what's going on underneath our skin? There are so many people right now who are determined they're not going to take this vaccine. Mm-hmm. And that's okay.
Y'all got vaccinated. I feel like I was doing my
second vaccine. Is it going to help you keep your tongue in your mouth?
Never. And I don't want to hear it, ma'am.
I'm never going to stop singing.
Because
moving right along.
All of a sudden she want to be talking about something.
So
exactly. I'm an influencer in this house. You've been influenced. Thank you.
I need to understand why, since you determined you're not going to take the vaccine, which is perfectly fine.
It isn't though.
It isn't, but it's fine for you because you, like, I can't tell people how to raise their kids, but don't bring your badass kids around fucking me.
You
Don't
literally can.
bring your badass kids around
I'm not
me
here for that. You
because
can't tell
I
people how
beat
to raise
my
their
kids.
kids.
I beat my kids.
Moms, you discipline your children.
I beat your ass.
Anyways,
And you're welcome.
discipline your
So
children.
now you're big and you're beautiful and you're intelligent and you're going to raise your kids to know don't fuck up out here in these streets.
Yo, that's the first time she's complimented me in a year.
She's such a liar.
It's really hitting right here.
You're so full of shit. Anyway.
Also, stop saying things like you can't tell people how to raise their kids. You literally can. Put one of them backpack leashes on that little MF and tell him to get away from me. Remember those? In like the early 2000s, they had the giraffe,
teddy bears and
the panda.
and bunnies.
Put one of them on your child and get that rugrat away from me. Start doing that. We're in a new decade. Start telling people the truth. Your child is a menace to society.
No, I'm saying learn to take care of yourself. So you're not taking this vaccine. What's your immune system looking like? Are you taking vitamins?
People's insides are wrecked.
Yo,
Wrecked.
do you go to the doctor
No.
regularly? Have you
No.
had all your smears? Pap smear, mammogram,
Not smears.
all the grams. Did you go for your physical lately? Do you know what your BMI is looking like? And do you know that you don't necessarily need to rock? Because according to the BMIs, I'm morbidly obese.
Yes, all the BMIs are wrong.
Kiss my ass with that shit because my ass is juicy. That's why the BMI is tipping. We're not paying attention to that, but we are paying attention to our cholesterol levels. What your thyroid's looking like? Do you know those things? Like, come on.
Stop using Plan B as birth control, ma'am.
Do you checking on your dientes? Are you getting your teeth checked? Do you realize that if you don't keep up with your dental health, gum disease can lead to heart disease? Because the bacteria that forms,
you swallow it.
You swallow it, and it can cause your blood vessels to inflame.
You can develop a tumor right at the tip of your esophagus,
which then block off arteries and cause strokes and heart attacks. Did y'all know that? Are you checking in? I mean, the amount of vitamins that I took on a regular basis before the pandemic have only grown incessantly. The numbers have risen because I'm not relying on a vaccine. I'm not relying on being able to get to a doctor because I now know, we were locked in the house for 6 months. I couldn't get to the doctor because I wasn't taking no chances. So let me just build up my immunity the way that I know how. Let me eat a little cleaner and greener. What are you doing? What are you doing? Honestly, because nobody knows but you to take care of you.
Are you from the start?
I'm gonna hurt
you. I gave you my heart.
Shut up. Are you exercising? Are you walking? Are you drinking the agua?
Not the agua.
Do you get your agua in?
No, because there are many people who don't drink water still, and it's concerning. I don't really like drink water.
I don't like water. It doesn't taste like anything.
Pardon? I will say though, as a child, I did not drink a whole lot of water because it didn't taste like anything, and I have a crazy sweet tooth. But by the time I hit like 13, 14 years old, you trying to show off by hydrating yourself?
Girl, you late because you know I drink water all day long.
Is Essentia paying us? Then move it to the side. Anyways, she don't know how to act. Now,
y'all, because she won't leave. She told me she's not leaving.
No, I'm never leaving. Not for real. I'm gonna move like 2 blocks away.
And I asked her for the keys back, and she told me no.
Why would I do that? How am I supposed to pop up on you and scare you if I don't have the keys?
Even if I change the code on the panel,
I'll break into the house.
And then she go tell the cops, "I got keys. Why would I not? Like, I live here. I got keys."
Look at the deed. Whose last name is on it? Here's my last name. Don't it match? Her middle name matches my first name. That's a bond. Break into the house? Me? Never. I'm a great liar. Come on now. Anywho, self-care is important, absolutely, but I think it stems from a place of lack of education in this country more than any other country. I don't want to hear it's
Is
a
it not
culture
paying
thing.
attention at this point?
Yes, it is. Because there are people out here who think washing your legs is optional. And you know why they think it's optional? Because health and wellness and hygiene classes, we don't have those in school. We get to health class, and you know what they want to talk about? How many calories is in apple slices? Oh, I don't need to know. I don't care. I do not care. You know how many people think that you're supposed to wash on the inside of your vagina?
You know whose fault that is?
I'm not going to say the parents, Mom.
It is. Because
It
let me
is.
tell you something, it's the parents' fault. Because I literally had this conversation with somebody at work one day, and they were like, well, when did you stop using washcloths? And I was like, who told you to stop using washcloths? I said, yo, when your babies are born in the hospital, even if your mother and your father don't teach you to use a washcloth for your life, when your babies are born in the hospital, how do they teach you to bathe them? When you take the birthing classes, they teach you how to bathe an infant. They use washcloths. At what point did you people decide we don't need these anymore
We're going to use our hands.
and throw them
Why?
out? When did that
Why?
happen? Because no book said, okay, you only need to use them till 3 or 4. Como? That never happened.
There was this girl on my TikTok, ironically, that you bring this up. She popped up and she was like, I would like to talk about normalizing something. And she was, my boyfriend thinks that I'm disgusting, which I would like to talk on because she has a boyfriend and she's doing this and I wash and I don't. But anyway, we're going to get into it.
You don't have a boyfriend because you
Excuse
are
me, we're not talking about specifics.
selective
We're
and
not
you know
talking about
too much.
specifics.
You know too much now.
Anyways, you see she keep interrupting me. She's drinking water, no sponsorship. She's talking about my business in the public.
You brought it up.
That's why I'm gonna break into your house. Anyways, she got on TikTok, a public forum, and said with her whole chest, I just feel like if I don't leave the house for 3-4 days, then I shouldn't have to wash for that week. ¿Qué? ¿Cómo? 5 days? And she was like, let's normalize it. Because, first of all, she was a person of color, so I don't want to hear that she was white. That little girl was Ecuadorian or Peruvian or one of the Ians or the Icans. Okay? Or the Icans. She was one of them.
I give up.
And she said, my boyfriend thinks that I'm out. And there were people in the comments who agreed with her. And the FBI agent who watches me through my phone saw me go like this. You heard that, Bob? Because no way I made that up in my head.
I give up.
She said, if I'm at home 4 or 5 days, what the hell do I need to shower for?
I'm out.
I didn't incur any stink.
You don't defend yourself?
Ma'am.
All the going, you peeing, you sweating, your body is giving off oils.
Your body is releasing dead skin.
You are oozing.
And it's just dusting off into your sheets. There are people who don't change their sheets once a week, once every other week. There was this girl who was like, I was watching her on YouTube. She was doing a daily vlog. She was like, I should probably change my sheets because I haven't done it in like 3 months.
She's eating herself because she's literally inhaling her own dead skin.
Not eating herself. Please. That's cannibalism.
Yep. Self.
Ma'am. What did you just say? I had to ask one of my white friends, before we continue in this friendship, please tell me you wash your legs. She was like, yes, Cheyenne, I wash my legs. And I was like, ma'am, please tell me you don't use your hands to wash your body. She was like, no, I use one of those pumice stones so she can exfoliate.
She ain't using no pumice stone on her body or her skin is falling off. I hope she's using a loofah.
No, she said she doesn't like loofahs because obviously loofahs hold bacteria. And I was like, okay, I hear you on that. Are you using a washcloth?
Pumice stone for your heels and your.
I don't know what it is, but it's like a rock of sorts, and then she uses it to whatever. And she was like, before I used to use a sponge, and I was like, are you SpongeBob?
Not SpongeBob.
Squidward? Are you Patrick? Why were you using a sponge?
I can't. Yo, who is telling these people to do this shit?
That's what I'm saying. In this country, every problem that we have in this country, if you roll it backwards, starts with education.
Nobody wants to fucking read.
Exactly. There's no uniform. You're nasty, you're not. Which is why you should tell people's children that they're ugly. You should tell people that their children are annoying. You should tell people when you think that their outfit is bad. You should tell somebody when you think that their dress makes them fat. Be truthful.
But you should not tell them that way because you know if
No,
I
you
said
shouldn't.
any
That's
of
not
that
nice.
shit to you,
That's not. I would
your
cry.
feelings would be hurt.
I would
Because
cry
you have literally looked at me and I have said, Cheyenne, you like this? And you go, no.
because it's ugly. She tried to wear a wife beater with a corset. What do
Why
you think
are
this
you telling
is?
the people what I
Because you
did?
told me all my business, so I'm gonna tell your
When
business.
we sign off, you better run.
I'm gonna
Okay?
live stream when
On
I get my
God.
ass beat,
On God, you better run when we
and
sign
I'm
off.
gonna tag
Y'all heard it
CPS.
here first. I don't care. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
I'm not a child anymore. Damn it.
That's your ass when we get off this podcast.
She tried to wear a wife beater. First of all, we need to stop calling it that because it's very
It
controversial.
really is.
I didn't even realize what the word was until I was like
Cut it
16,
out.
and I was like, wife beater.
Stella.
No,
Broadway play
stop.
for those who know. Mhm.
Just did a project on that.
Cat on a hot chimney.
A wife beater with a black corset. You're not Madonna. You're not Beyonce. Have a seat.
I mean,
No,
in theory, it was gonna
no.
work.
In theory, it was bad, and then you brought it to fruition, and it was worse. And then you tried to ask me like I was gonna lie to you.
Should have
We
let
have
me
a
go outside with
truthful
that.
household.
All right, fine. I didn't wear it, but you
Shan,
were mean.
Shan, oh, because I don't have to be nice to you. I don't have to. I have to be nice outside, and that is taxing as it is.
It really is because you got to find a nice way to go. No, honey, I wouldn't wear that. Mm-mm. Perhaps
No,
a
I don't want
different
you to pick me
color.
up.
A
You're an
different
awful
color,
driver,
perhaps.
and I don't want to risk my life with you. I can't say that because then I won't have any friends.
No,
But I don't
I'll
have
meet
to
you
do that
there.
to
I'll
you.
meet you there. No,
Exactly. I don't have to do those things with you. I don't have to couch it because you're my mother.
don't you think Joey is adorable? Oh,
No,
Joey is so smart.
Joey is busted. I
He's
hope Joey grows
he's
up to be
very
a
smart,
nice
that
young
Joey
man.
of yours. I mean,
And don't ask me again because I'll get up and leave. No, but I said, is Joey cute? I have a thing. I gotta go. Stop lying to people and telling them that they're cute when they're not because they become adults and they walk around thinking that they're hot shit when really they look like the asphalt
it's too late.
that I walk across.
It's too late because I feel like I mean, you know, it's too late because yeah,
It's never too late.
it's too late, baby. Now it's too late. Hmm.
Microaggressions in the office. You better tell Alberto, that's racist and I'm reporting you to HR for a check. Get out of my face.
I'm not reporting nobody to HR for a check because let me explain something to y'all. HR is the mafia. Leave HR right there, okay?
HR is
HR
the
is not here
best.
for y'all. HR is here for the company that you work for to
This is
protect them
true.
and their interests.
Okay, I'm taking it to the New York Times.
Write your shit down, keep your notes, and keep it pushing. Okay? All right. But yeah, self care is important. Teaching your children about what self care truly means and not just face masks, nail painting, and spa day is really important.
Go to therapy. Seek help.
Therapy, going to the doctor and the dentist is important. If
There's
you
mad people who
are,
don't go to the doctor.
we are still, we are still in the midst of
A
delicate
panoramic.
times when it comes to the pang de coco. I know that not everybody is familiar with, Ayurvedic. I always have a hard time pronouncing it, but traditional Eastern Indian medicine and the ways of healing, which always align with holistic healing, which is the way that I was brought up. I'm familiar with some of it. Oil pulling is nasty as hell, the original way it was done back in the day. I don't know if you remember when your brother was born, I used to do oil pulling, which was using the coconut oil and you put a tablespoon in your mouth, you let it heat up, and then you swish it around in your mouth for
Awful.
7 to 10 minutes and spit it out. Because coconut oil has all natural antimicrobial and antibacterial properties that draw out toxins and help your gums be strong and make your teeth actually whiter. And it's just really good for your mouth, but it's nasty and it makes you want to gag. So I did it for a little while and then you fall off because coconut oil in your mouth is nasty for 10
Yeah.
minutes. I have discovered most recently, and I'll drop this little tip and then we'll be done with the self care, that there are now products on the market that have incorporated the coconut oil with pleasant little peppermint oil additions and other things that make it way more palatable. And you use them, you swish them around, and then you brush your teeth, and it is great. It's a great way to maintain your dental health. It helps lift some of that plaque and bacteria. Get busy. Find
David
those things.
Letterman. That's his name. Sorry, it's
Yes,
been sitting in
yes,
my
the
head.
David Letterman interview with Jay-Z. Yes, because it would bother us for the rest of the day. Get busy with the different ways. There are so many traditional ways to address things that ache and ail you. Because truly, I know that there are so many people at home who are having aches and pains and are fucking ignoring them. Things hurt, heads hurt, knees ache, elbows ache, shoulders ache, indigestion, you're having issues. When you stick your tongue out and you see that white coating on your tongue, you are having digestional issues. What are you going to do about it? Nothing? Pop two Advil? Take two Excedrin? Come on, man.
Pepto Bismol,
You taking Pepto Bismol and the chalky
like
white
it's
one and no
candy.
Pectate all day long and not addressing the root of the matter? No pun intended. Get to it. Like, figure out what's up, because in the long run, this year has been hard on everyone. And really, we don't know how it has eaten away at our insides. It's been a very stressful year, and stress can fuck you up on the inside where you're just not able to see. You're not just able to unbutton and look inside and see where you need a tweak and you need
Loosen
some
up
oil.
my buttons, babe.
Oh, Jesus. So
It was a perfect.
get to it, people. Take your health seriously. Take the care of yourself seriously. Like, I went to the acupuncturist, which is what led me to talk about this today for the first time on Saturday,
She got a needle stuck in her.
because I hurt my neck. I'd spoken about it a couple episodes back, and I was going to the chiropractor, and the chiropractor did some work and fixed some things, but what I need done, I think, is long term. And I wanted to see if an acupuncturist could get deeper into the root of the muscle
Did
and
he get deeper?
mm,
Oh, no, that's not what I
ancient,
meant.
ancient Chinese medicine, yo, is nothing to sneeze at. So
It
let me
isn't.
go and see what he is talking about. And it was a great experience, and I'll be back. And it didn't hurt me. So I don't know. I just wish that people would take it in hand, because
I wish
your
people
health,
would wash their legs.
right? Like, take it in, literally, take it in hand. It is your responsibility, not anyone else's. And stop fucking waiting till shit breaks. And then the doctor says, here's 3 bottles of pills.
Antibiotics and
Take these. They
narcotics,
got
and
9 side effects, but don't worry about those.
you
Just,
might die. But here,
I'm good. I'm
are you
good on that.
ready for closing notes, ma'am?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Last week I went first. Do you want to go first?
I'm gonna go first. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you about my closing note, and then I'm gonna take my headphones off because I have to show you.
It requires a demonstration.
Yeah. So look,
If
I
it is
know.
what I think it is,
Shut up. So look, people, I know that those of us who are getting vaccinated and are excited about traveling again are like, wait, but airports and people, and they're taking away, leaving that middle seat empty, and I'm gonna have to be next to people. And some people are a little um
nasty.
worried, and worried about the mask alone, right? And being
Yeah,
close to people. So there are other alternatives, because really you just want to be in a hazmat suit, but nobody got time for that. And
you could wear a hazmat suit
we're
like
not
Naomi
on Naomi
Campbell.
Campbell. Like, we can't all afford that nonsense. So look, I was on Etsy because, like, my Gigi is getting ready to travel, and she needed something in addition to the mask, right? So that she could take off the mask but still feel a little secure. So I found this online, and then I was like, that's kind of cool. I think I'm gonna get me one too. And I'm gonna show you what it is. Okay. And ignore the film, because I didn't take off the film, which is on the back of it and the front of it. But it's really cool. Stand by.
She looks like ET. The zipping is sending me, ma'am.
You do good.
You need help. There are other methods. There's so many things happening here. You have never
So
looked
cool.
more interesting in
I
real
know.
life.
It's so cool. Look, so then you just let it hang back there, but it's like a little hoodie. It's the bomb. I mean, it jacks up my little faux hawk, but whatever.
That is the least of your
Your
worries.
face, right?
No, because you look crazy.
Girl, we live in a world where we all walk around looking like this. So, there's that. You're welcome.
Anywho,
Because wearing a full hazmat suit is not crazy.
I would rather wear the full hazmat suit than wear that ET ass hoodie. Absolutely not. I will wear that and have a Nerf gun with hand sanitizer in it, looking like I'm in Mad Max. Anywho,
what is your clothing note fully going to?
So last night, my mother, that one, and I were catching up on our Real Housewives shows. And one of the shows we were watching was Married to Medicine, which is on Bravo, a bunch of Black doctors. They're all based in Atlanta, whatever. Their husbands, two of them, who are not doctors, were sitting at the table discussing various things. And I noticed that one of them had a pair of glasses hanging around his neck. That concept is not foreign.
Oh, no.
We've seen people have glasses that have like the string around them, so they can just have it around their neck and they just, right? Except he had glasses that clipped, like they come apart, the lenses come apart, and then they come back together, they clip, and then you put them on. I made an observation, and I gave my hypothesis.
This is a family show.
I'm going to give a brief disclaimer to any family members that are watching. If you don't want to hear anything vulgar come out of my mouth in the next 30 seconds, please log off.
And get off.
I'm not trying to talk about it at family events. We're not going to get into it. I said to my mother, that I had an idea that men who have glasses, who make the conscious choice to purchase glasses that clip in the front, have big penises. And she said, Shan. And I said,
wait, what?
Mom, when you think about it, it makes sense. Because why would you, as a grown-ass man, choose to wear glasses that are not the social norm? You know why you would choose to do that? Because you don't care about public opinion. You know why you don't care about public opinion? Because people with big penises don't care about public opinion. You know why? Because they got it in their pants.
And I said, what about the old men who have those glasses?
Old people were young, and when they were young, they have big schlongs, and they still have big schlongs now. I don't even know what that comment was for. And then she said, well, what if they're short? Big things come in little packages. So that's that on that.
Where did I go?
Lots of places. We don't have enough time for that. It's already an hour. It's not going to be one of the things that I add on my list. I have a running notes list of all the things that I want to talk to my therapist about.
She does.
When I hit my psychotic break. And
I say crazy shit, she just goes, I'm adding this to my list.
When I have my adult psychotic break and the therapist is like, so how did we get here? I'm like, give me a second.
Nobody cares.
One moment. Where was I to start? That's my closing note.
Once again, my cheeks hurt.
You know I'm right. What other reason would you have to purchase glasses that clip at the front? Why not just purchase glasses like everybody else that slide onto your face?
On that note,
big penis energy.
Thank you so much.
Forget PPE, it's BPE.
for joining us on another episode. An insightful episode.
Right?
Of
Especially the end.
Time. I need y'all to run out and get this hoodie, y'all. It's worth it.
And talk to men who have glasses that clip in the front.
And find you a man who's got glasses that connect and clips in the front. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this child. Do y'all?
Bye.
Do you have any ideas? Send a note.
Don't send no note.
Bye,
I'll rip it up.
Bye. Thank you.